Black people are never on time. Black people love fried chicken and Kool-Aid. Black people can't swim. Black people are fast because they're black. Black people have nappy hair. The angry black woman, the loose black woman, even the ghetto black man. These are all stereotypes that have been a part of everyday American culture. The definition of the word stereotype is a widely held but fixed and oversimplified image or idea of a particular type of person or thing. Black people have been oversimplified and undermined for years. Through my own years, I have faced many microaggressions from peers that have derived from these misunderstood stereotypes. Being asked if someone can touch my hair, getting confused with the only other black person in class, being asked if my dad is still in the picture, or being told I should run track or play basketball because, you know. I have found ways of coping that have been productive. The main coping mechanism I have seen is through comedy and satire. If you look at the subject lines of many black comedians, they use stereotypes to their advantage. They take back the stereotype, put them on themselves, and that is extremely empowering notion. Comedians such as Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, Eddie Murphy, Charlie Murphy, Jamie Foxx, even the Wayans brothers have used these stereotypes and made them a source of power for other black people. Dave Chappelle, an internationally known comedian who had the Chappelle Show that was on Comedy Central from 2003 to 2006, had a history of elaborating on stereotypes. In his show, he has done skits on black white supremacists, who is basically a black person who hates black people. He has done skits as Tyrone Biggums, the town crackhead, which is also a known stereotype for black people who live in ghetto neighborhoods. He has also done skits where he plays on these microaggressions and makes commentary on them from the white perspective and the black perspective. One may find this interesting because for him to speak out on these issues by using comedies can be seen as an easy way out, but it may be the best way out. In the novel by Claudia Rankine, Citizen, it is noted that she repeats certain phrases and instances to point out the stereotypical comments that come from white people. By doing this, she forces you to listen to them, understand them, either relate to them or force yourself to see if you have done this to a person of color, if you have committed a microaggression, or intentionally or unintentionally. Dave Chappelle does this as well. Through his comedy or satire, he forces the audience to hear the language that is being used against the black community. Being that his show is on Comedy Central, he can reach many different audiences. Because he can reach so many different people, he has a large impact on the view of the black community. His stand-ups and skits can be considered a voice or outlet for these issues that black people face daily. Here are examples of Dave Chappelle and his use of stereotypes.
I'm not saying I don't like police. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'm just scared of them. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we want to call them too. Somebody broke into my house once. It's a good time to call them, but I don't. House is too nice. It ain't a real nice house, but they never believe I lived in it. He's still here.
This guy was suing a department store because they wouldn't let him play Santa Claus, because he's black. And I was actually relieved when the department store beat him. That's bad. But I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for the idea of a black Santa Claus. Man, that shit would suck. So we wouldn't get our presents till the 28th, 29th.
Sorry I'm late, kids. Santa got caught up with some pussy in Vegas. Oh, that's that whole brutality thing. See, that's common knowledge now. There was a time when only minorities really knew about that. I'm not going to say white people didn't believe us, but you were a little skeptical. You were a little skeptical. I mean, I don't blame you. And then Newsweek printed it, and he knew it was the truth. And then the Newsweek, white people were like, oh my God. Honey, did you see this? Apparently the police have been beating up Negroes like hotcakes. In Mississippi doing a show, and I go to the restaurant to order some food, and I say to the guy, I would like to have, and before I even finish my sentence, he says, the chicken. I said, what the fuck? I could not believe it. Could not believe that shit. This man was absolutely right. I said, how did he know that I was gonna get some chicken? I asked him, I said, how you know that? How'd you know I was gonna get some chicken? He looked at me like I was crazy. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Now, everybody knew as soon as you walked through the goddamn door, you're gonna get some chicken.
Chris Rock is another prime example of taking back stereotypes. His critically acclaimed show, Everybody Hates Chris, is the epitome of stereotypical. It was set back in the 1980s, which is considered post-civil rights era, and there was still a time where blacks were not completely accepted. The satire used in the show is directly linked to the basic stereotypes. He comes from a poor family. They do not like to spend money. He goes to a school where he is one of the only black kids and has had microaggressive expressions said to him every day. The way they use these expressions and the struggles he's faced in life and in school has a very relative quality for young black boys and girls who are experiencing the same thing. Chris Rock used the racist, stereotypical, and rude actions by others and took them back and created comedy gold. He gave power back to the black. The material behind the skits and the scenes and shows come from the black mind and is for the black audience. The show is initially a reflection of Chris Rock's childhood. He used his childhood and the way he got picked on as fuel for his comedy. For a group of people to take back and use the very thing that they were oppressed by and use it to their advantage is invigorating. Using these stereotypes to make people laugh and give blacks a reason to laugh at themselves is outstanding in itself. These shows, skits, stand-ups are radical in themselves as well. Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, Eddie Murphy, and others such as Tyler Perry, Jamie Foxx, and the Wayans brothers have raised awareness to social issues such as police brutality, war on drugs, which is essentially war on blacks, blacks on welfare, and many other political issues the African American community has faced. They express their opinions and disapprovals through their comedy. They can be considered radical in doing so. The stance they take can be another way of expression for the black community, with movements such as Black Lives Matter, Black Girl Magic, Black Gay Slay, which are empowering for black people. Black comedians, satirically driven messages should also be considered in the category of empowerment. There's a true value in being able to take away what was used against you. Here are some examples of how Chris Rock used stereotypes.
You realize this week is our pizza competition.
I know. Every year, the math classes at Coleon competed for a pizza day. Next to the last day of school, it was everybody's favorite day.
Now, Chris, my request for the school to provide you with an alternate victory meal of ribs and pig's knuckles was denied. But I know as well as you do that you loves you some pizza, right?
Right.
Well, I'd like our class to win. But if you don't get your average up, that's not going to happen.
But I'm trying. I just don't get algebra. Maybe you can tutor me after school.
I'm sorry, Chris, I don't have time. Have you called the United Negro College Fund? Maybe they can help. After looking at your test results, I'm very concerned.
What are you concerned about?
You did horribly on your test. With that on your record, it could seriously harm your chances of going to college. Even if you get a basketball scholarship.
I thought the test didn't count.
Chris, everything counts. You should know that. I would expect Greg to get suckered in by someone saying that, but with all your street smarts, you should know better than that.
Rochelle, money is money. Cash, food stamps, what's the difference?
Because I don't want to have to curse nobody out.
What?
Julius, when I pull out food stamps, people look at me like I ain't got no husband. They talk to me like I ain't got no sense. They treat me like I ain't got no class. And if somebody treats me like that, I'm gonna curse them out!
Hey, Chris, I heard you've got a father. Cool.
As you can see, both of these comedians and many others have used this idea that is meant to systematically oppress black people and turn it into a powerful comedic entity. They take back the stereotypes and take back being black.